Hey, hi. It's the Sleepers Podcast, Tuesday, December 19th. Holiday week rages on. Carter Elliott looks happy today.
Hey, hey, hi threw me off. Like, hey, hi.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like starting it the same way every single time.
We never got a howdy.
Yeah, I'm not a howdy guy.
Oh, big howdy guy.
Are you a big howdy guy?
Howdy, put her there. You got it, partner.
This is the side of you that was sitting on Santa's lap emerging.
Okay, that's 2 straight episodes, and we're talking about me on Santa's lap. We gotta let it go.
I mean, maybe don't sit on Santa's lap. Then maybe we're not talking about this.
Okay, I'm sorry for wanting to bring joy to children around me.
Wouldn't that be you being Santa? Because when you were at my house last weekend, you said that you were Santa, and this time you're the child on Santa's lap.
So they got a new Santa suit this year for the family Christmas party, and this Santa suit is built for like a 5'9" Santa. This is a Doug McDaniel size Christmas suit. The other one was like Donovan Clingan could fit in it.
And so you decided to sit on the small man that is playing Santa.
I mean, when you look at it that way, yeah.
Okay. I just wish I was in the room for this. I really do. Good day yesterday. A lot of previews, a lot of recaps, a lot of content in general. We went back and recapped everything from the weekend. A lot of those went up later than we would have wished, but we're still trying to find a rhythm with all the timing when there's games on Saturday. We try to give ourselves one day off per week. Also, spoiler alert, just want everyone to be aware, there's no college basketball games from Christmas through like Wednesday of next week. So highly likely we're going to take like a 3-day hiatus. Hiatus. Yeah, going to take a little break next week, give ourselves a little holiday time. The podcast will run through the end of this week, and then it will return, I think, Thursday of next week, along with previews and recaps. So just a mental note for everybody out there that is a supporter of the show or a regular listener of the show. Time for some holiday time, Cart. Today, though, we have 3 fun topics that I'm really looking forward to getting into. Going to talk a former Big Ten guard. Going to talk current Big Ten guard who set a milestone last night and a crazy tweet about it. But first, we have a bunch of comments to get to. Let's start, as always, with your YouTube comment of the day.
All right, I'm going to go back to our Christmas gifts for every Big Ten basketball team segment that we did. And there's a comment from a Andre Van that said Lance Jones and Brandon Newman aren't close. And that comment sparked a little something in me, Gregory, because are those 2 players really that different? Or am I just being the Lance Jones skeptical person that I am?
I mean, I don't think they're that close. Do you think
they're pretty clearly different?
I would say so. Right? Like, I don't think that's crazy.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I was a little bit higher on Brandon Newman than everybody else, too. Like, I was one of the ones clamoring for more Brandon Newman. Like, you wanted someone to take pressure off and knock down shots. You had Brandon Newman, and I've seen him do that in a couple games last season. I don't know. I just look back to some Brandon Newman games that he had some good games, and they look better than Lance Jones games to me. But that's neither here nor there. I just wanted your opinion on it. That's all.
I mean, Lance Jones is better. Like, I don't need to quantify that in any crazy ways. I think they're in the same category.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Okay.
I feel like you're baiting me on this.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right. Sorry, I got distracted in the middle of that because somebody tagged me on a video clip from 2021 when I literally said I would take Tum Tum over Tyson Walker. So that's what we're doing this morning.
Someone found that?
Yeah, that's the energy this morning. It's, by the way, it's not like someone found it. Like, it's the one person who has looked at this clip every day for 4 years who found it.
Who is it? Do I know this person?
Izzo T Spartan Dog on Twitter.
Why is he on that?
I mean, this is how rivalries should work, but like, there is not a fan base that victory laps me more than Michigan State fans. Even though I think I say a decent amount of praiseworthy things when you guys deserve it, but like, I just like Michigan State can beat Oakland by 17 and push the number, and I'll have 7 victory lap tweets at me like, you idiot. Like,
I also said that Tyson was playing like Tum Tum. Because if we want to actually go back to when that tweet was sent and we can pull stats from that point of what they look like, they were eerily similar then. That Tyson was not the Tyson we had now. Let's just say that. Kid was scared to shoot.
Yeah, great player. We're going to talk Tyson later in this episode, but also like we've already multiple times owned that we were wrong and that Tyson changed and got a lot better. So never really understood the like, when you revise your opinions on things as people get better or get worse, we are always here to do that. Like we own our mistakes, we own our misses.
I think that's the worst part. That's the worst part of doing this, in my opinion. Not the worst part of doing it, because I actually have no problem saying I was wrong. I'm never completely right, but it's like it's a no-win situation. You say that you were wrong and admit you were wrong, and people just dunk on you, or you act like you didn't say it, just stick with the take and die on that hill. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're just dying on this hill. You want to admit you were wrong. You want to admit you were wrong." So I don't know what people really want.
Yeah, I guess when this is your life, you do miss sometimes. It's like players miss shots sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, if someone missed a really bad shot, maybe they do. Maybe they just wake up every morning to like the same troll accounts sending them the video of their missed shot over and over again. Like, do you think Matt McQuaid gets his air ball sent to him or his corner three in the Final Four sent to him every single morning? Like,
if I had his number, I might.
I don't know. It wasn't an air ball, by the way. Now I'm going to get a clip of that sent to me that I called it an air ball that it wasn't. Let's go to comments from the Discord, starting with Jesse today. Jesse says, if, and it's a big if, Purdue Fort Wayne manages to beat Pitt this week to go 12-1, do we get to hear our first little seedlings of love as they trek toward their first NCAA tourney berth? Great use of the word seedlings.
Great use. Jesse, I will promise this. I will promise you this as a admired Discord member. There will be some dialogue about them if they beat Pitt. I will do that. I will make an effort to do that.
It's a big promise. I can't wait for that. Jesse has another one. He says, in regards to the great MSU win over Baylor, you think after last game, Izzo was like, okay, we're holding tryouts this week, culminating in the Baylor game to see who wants to rock for Sparty, and that was the galvanizing thing?
No, because when I look at the game, I don't think Michigan State did anything necessarily different stylistically or schematically. And that's where I'll give Izzo a little bit more credit. I just think guys just played better straight up. Like guys rebounded, guys defended. Tyson was Tyson. Trey Holloman contributed, got stuff from the center position. So I think I more so give credit to the players for just like stepping up and playing to their capability level.
Yeah, I agree. Players deserve all the credit. Izzo deserves credit too, but I don't think there was like a rah-rah moment that swung the season or anything like that. Malik Perry says, thank you, Carter, for no victory shades. Now, Greg, you're giving initials too much credit. The team's defense is why we won by 20 plus. The real MVP, 15 steals, 6 blocks. The bigs looking like real players. Just quick question. I know all these comments came in before last night's game against Oakland, so we're kind of bit by the schedule here, but just want to make sure I'm accurate. Am I giving AJ Hoggard too much credit, or am I not giving AJ Hoggard enough credit?
I can't give you a true answer on that.
Seems like there's kind of a misconception. Like I'm baffled. Am I criticizing AJ too much, or am I praising him too much?
So in the Baylor episode, you praised his play, you criticize his actions after his play. So
I should be criticizing his play and praising his actions, and then I wouldn't have anybody upset with me?
No, I think you just do what you did.
I feel like I'm hearing it from both ends on both sides of this, and I'm confused if I'm supposed to praise or criticize AJ.
I think you should do both. I think you should do whatever feels right.
Okay, good.
But can we also take 5 seconds just to give Malik his flowers, because calling him initials is the best thing I've ever heard, and I wish I came up with it.
It is good. Yeah, I have a lot of praise for Malik and everything that Malik is to our Discord. And speaking of Malik, he has another comment. He says he has a segment called Dumb and Dumber, except he spelled dumber Dumder. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I have a segment called Dumb and Dumber, Might be a weekly thing of things you guys say, which the sleepers decide which is dumb and which is dumber. Already have one in the chamber. I kind of love that idea. Like, that's honestly really good. Tyson Walker's not better than Tum Tum. That's dumber.
And then my dumb would be Brandon Newman's better than Lance Jones.
That's dumb. That's not dumber. That's really good. That's a great segment, Malik. We might run with that. Tristan Freeman, Busting Bracket, says, am I allowed to throw hands with a fellow Discord member if Pitt loses for trying to speak this into existence with Jesse? Or is that against the terms of service? Carter, as our director of violence, is fighting other Discord members. Is that allowed or not?
It is allowed. It's not encouraged, but it's allowed.
Physical fighting or just like online fighting?
I honestly rather be physical. I don't
That's
want
kind of where I'm at.
I don't want the Discord, convoluted with a bunch of back and forth and arguments and things like that. I'd rather just you throw hands.
Yeah, I think as long as you verbally respect each other, I'm okay with you hitting each other.
Yeah.
That's sort of where I'm at.
Yeah,
Dan F. and Man says Malik's going to hate me for this, but Initials has scored in double figures in 7 straight games. If you throw out some plus minuses, the man has been consistently showing up offensively. The real issue is, do we get 15, 20, or 40 minutes of good AJ? It feels like Baylor got 40 minutes of good AJ. Is this sustainable? I'm answering first, Cart. It is sustainable. I think it is sustainable. He just gave you 40 good minutes, I thought, last night against Oakland. I don't mean to overcredit AJ with it, because, yeah, other guys have been good. Specifically, Trey Holloman, I think, has been great, and the bigs look better right now. But I think AJ is the one guy on this team that if he plays well, everybody else looks better because of it. I don't think, like if Mady Sissoko decides to show up, it doesn't make AJ Hoggard better. AJ Hoggard showing up makes everyone better because it opens the door for Tyson. It creates open shots for Jaden Akins. He's the heart of the team. He's the emotional leader of the team. He's the single guy that makes transition work. It's impossible to overstate the importance of AJ Hoggard. And yes, we have now gotten, in my opinion, almost 80 good minutes of AJ in a row. It is not a coincidence that Michigan State has looked great in those 2 games.
Yeah, I really don't have much to add right there. I feel like you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'm not asking for perfection from AJ. I don't think that's fair for any basketball player. But like if you put AJ as a 30 to 32 minute player in some games before this, you were getting 8 to 10 minute stretches where you were getting disengaged, not locked in, just not good AJ, not AJ playing to his ability. If he's playing 30 minutes a game and like he has like 2 minutes or three, like 2 to 6 minutes, maybe 2 to 5 minutes where he's maybe not playing his best, like we can live with that. We just can't do the getting 15 minutes, 20 minutes of good AJ. And the last 2 games, say what you want, Baylor was a great competition. Oakland, sneaky, tough game. He was locked in for those and he was playing well. So he has the ability to do it. We can see that with the sample size. Now it's about him sustaining it.
I'm literally just getting blown up on Twitter by 1,000 Michigan State people now revisiting Tyson Tum Tum. I really hate this sometimes. I just hate it. Guess whose name just showed up?
Who?
Dougie Tutter.
Oh God.
It's just hard. It's just hard, man. Sometimes I lose my heart in all of this. Congrats. That was 3 years ago when Tyson couldn't beat out AJ Hoggard for a
that was literally from 12-10-21.
It's just goodness. Flat Stanley says, will Moretti get more minutes than DGL right now when he comes back from injury? He had a good game right before getting injured and looked to solve some of the point guard concerns we have when he was in. I think it's obvious DGL is way more talented, but for what you are getting from each player, I could see Brad end up giving more to Nico, even if it's just 4 to 5 minutes to be a facilitator. What do you think there?
I do. I've actually liked what I've seen from Moretti. Moretti was one of the guys I actually was like, I'm going to keep my eye on him after the overseas trip. I just feel like there's something there with him. And I mean, I don't know how you cut into DGL's minutes. He doesn't really have that many, but I think that because of the point guard, maybe issues that could arise. I don't think it's an issue right now, but the things that Moretti does, I think could help this team as far as a point guard position. DGL is more of a scoring guard, like more of a 2 Carson Edwards mold type guard. So I don't know. I'm still in the camp of like, Well, you can't play Moretti and DGL together because I don't think defensively that'll work. But I could see Moretti getting the nod because of the things he could bring in the point guard position.
I don't think either's in the rotation.
I agree with that comment as well.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think like we can debate which one would benefit the team more, but I don't think Brad plans on either of these guys playing in Big Ten play. Hope I'm wrong because I would like to see one of them on the court, and that one would be DGL, not Moretti, from my opinion. I know Moretti can do some things. He's definitely a better facilitator. I don't see him as a big part of Illinois' future, though. That's just me speaking for me and what I would do if I was the coach. Boiler J Rut 3 says thoughts on Arizona not applying extensive pressure on Purdue's guards mostly at all Saturday. There was a lot of talk of Boswell being able to body up and harass Braden Smith. They never even really tried it. Thought it was a huge miss for them. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I was very surprised by that, and that goes back to the conversation we had about who outcoached who in this game. That was part of it to me. Obviously we gave credit to Tommy Lloyd for making the adjustment with the zone, but also while you give him credit for adjusting and going to the zone, you should also possibly question why they got to the point where they need to go to the zone. And I did expect that the guards and the guard depth that they have to put more pressure on Purdue's guards and maybe try to wear them out a little bit. And instead of that, there was no real pressure, at least in my opinion, and also the early defensive breakdowns that kept on happening, I think negatively affected them.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised by it for sure. I think they could have had success doing it, but I don't know. I don't know why they didn't try to do that, quite frankly. It's a good thought from Boiler. Bryce says, not to be that guy to disrespect NBA teams, but if y'all were to put together a team of the best college players in the state of Michigan against the Detroit Pistons, who's winning and what's that spread?
The Detroit Pistons would win. I'm not doing that.
What's the spread?
The spread would be Pistons minus 22.
Against, like, who's the team of the best college players? Oh, I guess it's from the state of Michigan.
It'd probably be Doug Tyson, Olivier.
Nobody from the smaller schools? Like, are we taking Trey Townsend?
I might take Trey Townsend as my 4, Olivier as my 5.
Good. No, I still don't think so. I'd take one.
Honestly, it might be Pistons minus like 30.
Yeah, I mean, like, who's the worst Pistons big? Bagley right now?
Yeah,
Wiseman. Like that. Those guys are putting up 40 and 20 on any.
We're not doing the state of Michigan thing is okay. Like if you want to extend it to all of college basketball, I'm still taking the Pistons, but I will never, ever, ever utter the words like, "Oh, could the lowly team from this division beat or from the worst team in NBA history? Could they maybe have a dogfight with Toledo?" Like, no, let's not. Or like, you know what I'm saying?
Marcus Sasser and Jaden Ivey would destroy Tyson Walker, and Tyson Walker's the best guard in the state. So
Monte Morris would also destroy them.
Pistons minus 30. I would bet heavily on Pistons minus 30. Boom Fizzle says, has someone checked in with Mama DGL on her son's lack of playing time? Do you check in regularly with Mama Gibbs Lawhorn?
I do not. I try to stay away from that toxicity.
Yeah. Same here. We'll leave it at that. Ziader says, where would you need to draw a line in the AP poll to take those teams over the field to win it all?
Where would I draw the line to take the field?
No, to take the teams over the field. So the AP poll, top of the AP poll is Purdue, Kansas, Houston, Arizona, UConn, Marquette.
I'd cut it off after Marquette, I think.
I think if I wanted to say, like, what's the absolute earliest I would cut it off at UConn. But I wouldn't feel as good about it. If you would give me Marquette, I'd for sure take the top 6. If I had to be pressed into it, I would take the top 5 and bet that one of those 5 beats out Marquette.
Yeah, I do the same.
Outside of that, though, like, there are a lot of teams I think can win it all, just like quickly. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Tennessee won it all. Kentucky could absolutely win it all. I am pretty out on this Baylor team, but you could convince me there's a world that they get hot for 3 weeks. North Carolina winning it all would not shock me. Creighton winning it all would not shock me. Florida Atlantic winning it all would not shock me. Illinois winning it all wouldn't be a complete shock. So I don't know. But yeah, give me the top five. That's where I'm at. Tristan Freeman says, in honor of this, which college basketball take from this season so far should have been community noted? That is the video of Auburn, by the way, where it was like people waiting in line. They said the Bronny effect is real. And then the community note said Auburn fans have always waited hours before home basketball games. What do you think? What should have been community noted?
What should have been community noted? Uh, what was the one? And this is not taking shots at this Twitter account, but it's the first one that came to my mind, and I gotta say it. What was? Oh no, this is what it was. It was they would take Lance Jones over Tyson Walker. I think it was Boilermaid.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one that comes to mind for me immediately.
Yeah, I can't think of a better one than that, I don't think. Trying to think of something like Hunter Dickinson oriented, but
Yeah.
there haven't been a lot of takes with Hunter lately because he's just been playing good,
I could also do one to myself of about Colorado winning the Pac-12.
Honestly, like, well, now I'm in my petty bag, but like I would have gone back to a lot of tweets you had about like my flight tickets are booked. And I would have had a community note. It's just like community note. Michigan State has lost 13 games, 3 consecutive seasons with this core.
Community note, Carter's on the no-fly list.
Yeah, something like that. Guy says, I just accidentally shocked myself with an electric bug zapper. On the bright side, the Google form is done. I love Guy.
Only Guy.
Have you ever shocked yourself with an electric bug zapper?
No, but I've like electrocuted myself before.
No, you have not.
Not on purpose, but like I've done it.
Electrocuted yourself?
Yeah, like I was trying to do like the outlets in my basement, and I touched a part of the wire that was live, and it's because I'm not handy like that. I was being an assistant to somebody else doing it, so I was vibing, and I touched a wire and like electrocuted myself.
Doesn't electrocute intrinsically mean you die?
No, like sometimes you just get shocked. Like I just felt like a
Yeah,
jolt in my
you
arm, in my hand, and like my whole right arm went numb, and my fingers were really hot.
so you shocked yourself. You didn't electrocute yourself.
That electrocuting is shocking yourself.
I think electrocute intrinsically means you die.
Stop using the word intrinsically.
Electrocute, to kill someone by electric shock.
Wait, what? I did not know that. So if you get electrocuted, then you die.
Electrocution is death or severe injury caused by electric shock.
Right.
That's not severe. You shocked yourself.
I lost feeling in my right arm.
That's not a severe injury. Do you have feeling in your arm back?
It took a while to come back.
That's not a severe injury. Coy says, should USC consider moving on from Andy Enfield? If so, does moving into the Big Ten give them the opportunity to go after a bigger name who fits at USC?
Why do I feel like they can't? Because like he's a good recruiter. He's still getting like top prospects to come to USC. I don't know. I just don't think you move on from Enfield.
Yeah, I think Enfield's a good coach. I would not move on. I would hesitate moving away from coaches that get you to the NCAA tournament consistently for someone in this market. Like unless you're getting a superstar no-brainer stud, but USC wouldn't get a guy like that. Like they would be hiring a young gun, unproven guy, I think.
Right. Like they were 7th seed last year, right?
I don't know.
Or maybe they were at 10. It was
whatever was opposite Michigan State.
Yeah.
10?
Maybe 10. Okay.
I think 10. Yeah. He's fine. Like nobody at USC is going to win national championships. So just take the guy that's going to get you to the tournament and recruit Bronny. That's good. Billy has a question I love. He says, if every Big Ten school, or every school, I guess, put together a super team of players from the last 5 years, who wins a 20-game conference schedule? You want to do Big Ten instead of every team?
Yeah, we'll do Big Ten.
Okay. It's a great question. There's a lot of really good answers.
Can I make sure I understand this? We're putting together a team from the last 5 years of any Big Ten player to win a Big Ten conference title or like a national title?
A 20-game conference schedule, so just win the Big Ten. But I would assume they're playing the other super teams, right? Every team in the Big Ten has their best 5 from the last 5 years. They play a
Okay.
20-game schedule. Who emerges as champion?
That's what I do. Wouldn't it just be Purdue?
To me, so I think no matter who you come up with here, you're going to end up liking your team.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michigan State would have Cassius and Tillman and Tyson, and I would say Hauser and Aaron Henry.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't know.
nasty.
I didn't know Cassius and them fell into that 5 year.
I think
I
they
guess
do.
they do.
I
Okay.
think they do, just barely.
Okay.
Which means like from the Michigan side, you're probably taking Xavier Simpson, Franz Wagner, Isaiah Livers, Hunter Dickinson,
So you're
pick
literally just
shooting
pulling the
guard,
team.
Kobe Buffkin.
I was gonna say you're literally just pulling the team they had. You're just naming the team they had.
Xavier never played with Hunter.
Oh,
Put an elite point guard with Kobe Buffkin and Hunter. Like that's
yeah, true. Yeah, I feel like you could definitely love your team, but like you give me Edie, and then I can like hand pick from the past like 5 years of Purdue teams.
what's the Purdue team though? Like actually talk me through that. Because here's my thing is if you're gonna do Edie, I think the Purdue team ends up not making a ton of sense because they're going to run into the issue they did with Edie and Travion and Ivy, where Ivy and Edie were such conflicting forces.
But can't we just grab like a 3 and a 4 man from the last 5 years in Purdue and fill in, or even a 2?
Who would the players be? Like, give me their 5. What is Purdue's actual 5 on the court? And do they make any sense together or not?
I want Braden Smith and Jaden Ivey to make sense.
I think that makes sense. I don't know that it makes sense with Edie, like because Jaden Ivey needs the ball in his hands.
Yeah. Well, Lance Jones is there for sure, right?
I would hope so.
No, what the hell?
Who's your 5? Give me a 5 from Purdue.
Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I get this. I'm bad at years going back to, I am. This is a bad exercise for me. Most exercises are bad, except for physical ones. I'm getting in shape. Don't sleep. Let's see. See, like I would put Stefanovic in there, but Purdue fans tell me that like he's not that guy. But like if you give me him at the 3, I'm very happy. Like give me Braden, Ivy, Stefanovic, and then at the 4, even though I want Travion Williams,
you're stuck.
Like
you're stuck. Like that's the thing is there isn't a 4 that makes sense with Edie and with Ivy. Like what are you gonna do? Run Kaufman Ren? Like it doesn't work. That's why the whole Edie Travion Ivy thing failed because he was trying to do 2 bigs the whole time. It stunk.
Brandon Newman at the 4.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the answer here is Illinois, who, by the way, has been really great in Big Ten play over the last 5 years. Like,
so you're saying like Io, TSJ, or shit? Are we doing like Io Frazier, TSJ?
Honestly, all I needed to hear was Io and TSJ together, and you had me sold there. That team's ridiculous already, but I think Io, TSJ, and Kofi are guarantees. And then from there, Illinois fans would kill me if we don't have Trent. I would consider Plummer. I thought Plummer was hugely important to that team, like just the spacing he provided and how good of a shooter he was. You could go small. You could run TSJ at the 4 with 2 shooters around Io. I think that team would be absurd. You could I'm trying to think who else you could pull. Like
Dame?
you could pull Matthew Meyer. You could have him play the 4.
Yeah.
He was
No,
good.
yeah,
He was good.
Just
I'm
drank a lot of
good.
wine.
My answer is Illinois. I think that roster makes way more sense than Purdue's.
Okay. I think I'll lean Michigan State.
Just take cash and bet on yourself.
Yeah, like give me Cash and Tyson and let's rock.
Sneaky answer here. Sneaky. Fran might win.
Honestly, like give Keegan, Chris,
If it's the best version of themselves and you give me Garza, Keegan, Chris, Bohannon, and I guess we need another guard, Wieskamp.
Yeah, was there another guard we're missing from those teams? All right, either way, yeah.
That team's stupid. Like, if you just get the like junior Chris Murray, sophomore Keegan Murray, senior Luka Garza, that team probably wins.
Sneaky good.
Loudly good. That team's ridiculous. Those three guys were like insane.
I'm kind of mad at myself for not finding a way to pick Ohio State in this.
Yeah, they'd have a fun team too. Wisconsin's team would just be their current team. Like that.
No, they get Davison back and who else?
Johnny Davis.
Yeah, Johnny Davis.
Yeah, that's a fun question. Thanks, Billy. I'm rocking with my Illini. Travis Nelson says, why was Rocket never as good again once he left Michigan State?
He got hurt. He had a hip injury, and hip injuries are pretty bad for certain players, but it's definitely bad for Rocket, who's already a below the rim, undersized guy and just a volume scorer. But I think that had a lot to do.
Interesting. Okay. I'm glad you raised that because I was unaware he even got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt at Mississippi State.
Got it. I didn't even know that. Yeah, it looks like a totally different guy than the guy that had 21, 4-4 to beat Michigan in Ann Arbor. Like,
Crazy,
right? I will never forget that game. Just watching Rocket Watts eviscerate my top three in the country, Michigan Wolverines. That probably the most infuriating loss ever. But it was good to see. I mean, down the stretch when the game was already out of hand, clearly, and Michigan State brought in Davis Smith, Rocket was still going after his buckets. I enjoyed seeing that.
Rocket's mindset will always have a special place in my heart.
I enjoyed seeing that. And Izzo gave him the butt tap. Did you like that?
Yeah, I do.
Is there any player that Izzo does not have the right to butt tap?
None that I don't know if he has the right to butt tap Pierre.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I guess if I had to pick somebody, he kind of forced Pierre out.
Wow, he processed Pierre? Really?
Maybe,
huh? I didn't know
I got
that.
an inkling. I have no actual facts to back that up, but there's some type of funny feeling inside me that he said, Pierre, you might want to look for other opportunities.
Interesting. Okay. Travis Nelson says, Izzo compared Tyson Walker to Gary Harris post-game. I actually like this comp for once, but over under 7.5 players he has compared to Gary in the past 10 years.
Over. Every year, one player gets compared to Gary. Over. Last year it was Jaden Akins as Gary.
Yeah, Max Christie had a lot of Gary in him. I think Bryn Forbes had a lot of Gary in him. Denzel Valentine had a lot of Gary, and they played on the same team. So, it is a really strange one. I will say, I think I do feel that Tyson is the most Gary-like of those players, but I still hate it because Gary was not an on-ball guy the way Tyson can be.
Yeah. Tyson's special.
Also, this is going to open the door. I'm going to get shit for this. Gary wasn't nearly as good as we're making him out to be if we're comparing every Michigan State player to Gary. That's like a forgettably good Michigan State player. He wasn't like an All-American. In head-to-head games, his 2 years at Michigan, he was not ever the best shooting guard on the floor. Ever. So, and I know those Michigan teams were good, but he is not on the pantheon of great Michigan State players. To me, Tyson Walker is a much better basketball player right now than Gary Harris was at Michigan State.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with Gary's prospect as an NBA player. I think factors into that. He's a lottery pick.
Was he outside the lottery just barely?
Maybe. I believe so. I thought he was the last lottery pick, 15.
That would be outside the lottery. That's the Jet Howard lottery pick.
Is lottery only 12?
Or no, sorry, that's the Kobe Buffing lottery pick. I got it mixed up, those two.
Is lottery only 12?
14, I believe.
Oh, 14?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and look, NBA prospects, you can be a great NBA prospect and not a great college basketball player. Tyson's
don't get me wrong. Gary was good, but I do agree with you on the fact I think we talk about him like he was the epitome of what we want a Michigan State guard to be when like there's some other players I'd rather them be than Gary Harris.
I think peak Josh Langford was a better player than peak Gary Harrison.
I disagree with that.
Peak.
What's peak Josh Langford?
It was a short peak, but he had one season pre-injury that was like really good.
Yeah. I would hear an argument, but I disagree.
Okay.
Langford's long twos had me ready to punch someone in the face, man.
Yeah, man just couldn't get his foot behind the line.
And
He
just
always
could
tried.
not. Couldn't keep his foot healthy and couldn't get it behind the line.
He always tried. A difficult thing to do sometimes. Not difficult for you because you're like 5 feet behind the line.
Yeah, I've never had. I don't think I've ever shot a deep tool in my life.
One of your greatest strengths. I do appreciate that. Okay. I think that's it for the comments in the Discord. Join the Discord if you want to support the show. It is the #1 way to do so. That money comes directly to us. It is $9.99 a month. We do get to invest some of that money back in the community. We do a ticket giveaway every single month at the beginning of the month. We've now done 2 of those. This year's winner, Purdue fan, Derek, one of the prized members of our Discord. He's got his iCart. I haven't revealed this publicly. He's got his eye on some postseason tickets for Purdue. So that's
second weekend tickets.
That's where Purdue fans' mentals are at. That's a bold move, but we are here to help make it happen. If Matt Painter can just hold up the end of the bargain, so that's what you're missing out on. If you want to be entered in our ticket raffles and you want to support the show, join the Discord. $9.99 a month. Do so. That'd be great. Let's get to our 3 topics today, Cart. I want to start with there's no other place I could start than this today. He returned. The prince that was promised is back. I really do feel like one of those religious people that's just like waiting for the second coming, and then finally like Jesus returns and he came back from the dead, and all of a sudden like the stone was moved. I am so excited that Andre Curbelo is playing college basketball again. This kid is a content machine. Let me start by saying that. Everything that Andre Curbelo does is gold. I love him. He's unintentionally hilarious, and he's just must watch. He's must watch. We knew it when we saw him at Big Ten Media Day, and at the time, everybody thought he was breakout superstar, all Big Ten type guy, Illinois' best player. They had him and Kofi together at the podium. It was him and Kofi. It was him and Jaden Ivey. And then about a month into the season, it was obvious this ain't working out, and everything changed. Look, Andre also don't want to make light of anything. Like, he's been through a lot. I know he had concussion issues. He had some mental health stuff going on. So when we speak about Andre, truly, it's from a place of admiration. It's from a place of love. We love this kid's game when he's playing well. We love this kid's personality because a lot of people show up to Big Ten Media Day and don't have a lot of it. Andre Curbelo had it immensely, abundantly. It was incredible. And he's at Southern Miss now with the 2-time transfer rule. He's now allowed to play suddenly. I don't think people expected that. Last week, when people didn't know if he was going to play, he was like making headlines sitting in the stands in the middle of Southern Miss's game. Now he's on the team. And I was impressed with his debut. I did watch some of this game. In 20 minutes, he finished with 13, 6, and 6. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Like, he is a good basketball player when he plays well.
I'm telling you this right now, and I mean this with all my heart and everything that's inside me. The world is a better place when Andre Curbelo is playing basketball. Mm-hmm. It is. I don't really care. I will always enjoy watching him play basketball. We had a segment, I think, in the preseason, and the question came up, like, if we had the power to do so, would we get Andre Curbelo back to Illinois? And I still feel the same way that I would. That would be our favorite team of all time. You give me Curbelo, you give me Terrence Shannon Jr. I mean, that's a backcourt that I dream of. But also, like, Curbelo's good too. I think that people get it kind of mixed up in some ways because of the actions or the antics and maybe the erratic play at times. But let's not get it twisted whatsoever. This kid's an entertainer. Like, he's a hooper, and he will forever earn his spot on like first team all sleepers if we're picking teams. Our sleepers team, the day we have a TBT team, and we will have one day, Andre Curbelo is going to be our point, and we're going to let him rock, and it's going to be special.
I honestly can't wait for that recruitment. Like we're just DMing Andre Curbelo like every month for an entire offseason. Like we need you. We need you.
I'm just literally sending them a picture of I'm gonna go on Google Images search and pull up a ring of keys. And I'm gonna say, here are the keys of Sleeper's TBT team. I'm just gonna repeat and spam that message 40 times over until he answers and say, okay.
Yeah, and I think this is a case of like sometimes players got to find their level. But what I want to add is that I still adamantly believe Andre Curbelo is a high major basketball player. So this is a situation where like a high major player that he has some complications to him, but a high major player goes down to a low mid major level. He should be great at this level. Like he should be a fantastic player for Southern Miss. And I thought kind of being thrown into the fire, this was a really good start for him because he played 26 games for St. John's last year, and the numbers weren't awful. Like he averaged 4 assists a game. He averaged almost 10 points a game. He did turn the ball over a little too much, but he's a guy that I think can really do like these 13, 6, and 6 lines on a consistent basis at Southern Miss. And does that make Southern Miss a good basketball team? I don't know, but it makes a must watch for me. Like I'm going to tune in every single time I see them playing because I just love the way this kid plays. And most importantly, when you talk about the Illinois thing, it wasn't a joke for us when we're like, I would love to see him back at Illinois. Brad would never do it at this point, but he deserves a redemption arc. That's where I'm at with Andre. Like, I think the narratives have gone too far south. And even Trilly was tweeting yesterday, like the stories I could tell about this kid. I'm sure there's some crazy ones, okay? Like I'm sure behind the scenes it's even crazier than what people have seen publicly. But if you're a fan of college basketball, you should want to see this kid succeed. And I'm really excited about the start we saw last night because if Andre Curbelo can just end his career on a high note at Southern Miss, have a great statistical season on a team that maybe makes a little noise, God forbid, Cart, could Southern Miss like make a little run in the conference tournament and find themselves in the big dance with Andre Curbelo in the spotlight?
If we get Curbelo time in the NCAA tourney, we'll be blessed. And honestly, we earned it after the Final Four we saw last year. I want Curbelo in the tourney.
Southern Miss finds themselves in the play-in in Dayton as an 11 seed. They win their first game. They get Illinois as a 6 seed in round 2. How good would that be?
Illinois dog walks them, but Curbelo oops.
Also, Illinois is not going to be a 6 seed. Illinois is going to be like a 2 seed at this pace, though.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you back, Andre. We are certainly rooting for you, and I hope we see a lot more 13, 6, and 6 from you. 4 turnovers to go with it, but who's counting? Not me. Next topic. Tyson Walker crossed the 1,000-point threshold last night. I'm currently getting spammed by Twitter people who want to see me crumble about Tyson Walker from a take from 3 years ago. That's fine. What I want to talk about with this is where does Tyson Walker rank in the levels of Michigan State guards through the years? I think you have like the Hall of Fame level, the Mount Rushmore level of Magic Johnson, obviously, Mateen Cleaves, obviously, 2 guys that won national championships. Then you have Cassius Winston, who was robbed of a chance to potentially win a national championship, but was a first-team All-American. He was the best point guard I've seen at Michigan State in my life. I think you could put Denzel Valentine up there. His National Player of the Year season, my opinion, was the most impressive individual season I've ever seen from a Michigan State player. To me, that's the best group of guards. And then you go down a level to like the Kalen Lucases, the Keith Applings, guys that were very, very good, but never a first-team All-American, never I guess a national champion type winner at Michigan State. So where does Tyson Walker rank for you?
So right now, I think that his ceiling of where he could end his career is above Kalen Lucas, below Denzel Valentine. Like I think he could get to that point because the farthest Kalen went was what, national championship game when they lost to North Carolina. That was a really good. And then you had the Achilles thing with Kalen, which always just has you like wondering what could have been. Like we had 4 years of what Kalen Lucas was. I mean, he was truly special early on in his career. But I think Tyson's ceiling is probably right above Kalen, but also in a world where I get my way and I can doctor up how things go. If Tyson Walker has a Kemba Walker type run and takes this team to the national championship and wins it all, he probably goes above Denzel in my book. And I know Denzel won National Player of the Year, but unfortunately, Denzel has the blemishes of like losing to Middle Tennessee and things like that. So he didn't really have the tourney run necessarily to as the main focal point of the team, which I think I maybe hold against him a little bit. But ideally, Tyson to me would fall right below Denzel, pending what he does for the rest of this year and maybe what he does in March this season.
How far does Tyson need to go in the tournament for him to match Denzel to you? Like if he makes an Elite Eight, but it's a crate, like Tyson averages 30 a game on a run to an Elite Eight, does that match him to Denzel in your eyes?
I think if he makes a Final Four, that matches him to Denzel.
Has to be a Final Four. Okay.
I think. But also, if you're giving me like an Elite Eight run, they lose to a juggernaut team that they had no business, and Tyson's averaging 30 points, like I'm gonna have a.
I think this is getting a little recency biasy because Denzel made a Final Four as the second best player on the team. So
yeah, true.
Like I get that wasn't his team, that was Travis Trice's team. But I think if you asked us in 2015, where does Travis Trice rank on the pantheon of this? We might be saying the same shit about Tyson Walker that we're saying about Trice that we're saying about Tyson. Like, by the way, Travis Trice, incredible that one season. Now, 8 years removed, we're not sitting here like, oh, Travis Trice is like right up there in the top 5. And I think Tyson Walker this season is better than Travis Trice. So I don't mean to necessarily like make it this or that, but I think Tyson's closer to a Travis Trice than he is to a Denzel, like in the guard conversations.
But also, like Travis Trice was in a different situation, like a better situation, don't you think?
Maybe that team with Trice wasn't really expected to do that much when they made the big run. Like they lost 12 games that year.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, just as far as like the hierarchy of the team, like when you're going through players. I mean, Trice was the number one option during the tournament, but Denzel was the best player on the team.
Yeah, outside of that though, it wasn't like any crazy like Matt Costello, Brandon Dawson. I love those guys; those were good. But like the rest of the team was Gavin Schilling, Alvin Ellis, Marvin Clark, Tum Tum, Bryn Forbes. Colby Wallerman was playing minutes in the tournament run. Like I don't think that team was that nasty. Look, I love Tyson. I think he's great. Like I said, I think this is the best individual career arc that I can remember for a kid. Like I think whether it's just bad luck or whatever you want to call it, you can go through a lot of other guys in Michigan State uniforms, especially guards, that have really struggled to end their careers in various ways, whether on the court or not. Like Keith Appling had some implosions that happened his senior season, and he didn't get over the hump to a Final Four. Kalen Lucas had the injuries. Denzel Valentine was playing his best basketball, but it's marred by that last loss. I'm trying to think of like even Cassius. Cassius was really, really good his senior year, but all the sad stuff that happened to his family and then the pandemic, like for even things outside of their control, there's been a lot of guys that have just hit a wall and their legacy ends up getting hurt by it. I think Tyson Walker has had the most impressive from start to finish improvement that I've seen from any player in my life at Michigan State. And he deserves a bunch of credit for that. And it certainly could. Like he could shoot this team to a Final Four. If it happens, then we have to have a serious conversation. But I don't think there's a world where he ends up in the top 4 Michigan State guards we've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like he won't. He's not Rushmore level.
He could be 5th though.
Could be 5th. How many are this? Rushmore's only 4 different heads, right? Yeah.
Rushmore's 4, and right now I think Denzel has to be 4. But again, that Denzel's National Player of the Year. I don't want to say I don't care that they lost to Middle Tennessee State. His National Player of the Year thing was insane.
Yeah, it was. It truly was. Also a topic for another day that we need to put on the back burner. Rushmore should have 5 heads on it.
Okay. By the way, also, do you know what Denzel had in the Middle Tennessee game?
No.
Only 13 points, but 13 points, 12 assists, and 6 rebounds.
Just couldn't get a stop. Couldn't stop Giddy Potts and Reggie Upshaw.
Yeah, I mean, he was so good that year, man. God, he was good. I'm looking back at numbers right now. It's crazy. Okay. Let's move on to the final topic of today. So Big Ten basketball ranges on.
Oh, well,
And
wait a second, Greg. I know how you love to come in to these episodes sometimes and do surprise topics. I know I said I was done pulling rank, but I'm pulling rank on this one. I have my own topic. For everyone who was on the X yesterday, or Twitter, as I still refer to it as, there was a tweet that kind of shook the Twitter sphere by former Illinois running back Rashard Mendenhall.
no
And
way.
he brought
We
up,
are not doing
oh,
this.
we're doing this. Oh, we're doing this. And he brought up the topic of, or he sparked the conversation of, what would a team of all white versus all black players look like in the game of football? And that got me thinking, what would that look like in college basketball this season? So that is the exercise we are going to do for this one. I will be drafting on behalf of the black congregation. Gregory, you will be drafting on behalf of the white congregation. It's very fitting for the situation. We will have 5 players.
Why are we doing this?
Because
Why?
I'm pulling rank. We will have 5 players, and we will have 1 coach, and we will go and we will draft. And because I need my reparations, I will be drafting first.
Okay. I can't believe I want to know. I have no interest in doing this. I do not support the fact that we're doing this. With that said, I will begrudgingly do this.
I mean, are you going to be the draft killer that you are?
I don't know. I guess. There could be. I could have a nice team. I might
Okay.
have
All
a
right.
nice team.
Let's do it. With my first with the first overall pick, I will be taking Terrence Shannon Jr.
Okay. I mean, I feel like this is getting controversial at the start already. This is the last thing I want. I'm ambushed by this. Can I take Zach Edey?
No,
Why?
because Zach Edey is not white.
He's Canadian.
He's not white, though.
Isn't he half white?
I think he's an Asian Canadian.
Yeah, I think he's half Asian, half white. Canadian.
I made this exercise. I'm telling you who's white and who's
You
black.
can't pull rank twice.
I'm pulling. Yes, I am. I'm pulling it right now. Zach Edey is not white.
Okay, then I'm drafting Zach Edey, hoping that he gets a waiver to play in the game. And if he can't play by tip off, I will have an undrafted free agent ready to take his place.
That's crazy.
I'm the first pick is Zach Edey. I'm drafting him.
Okay. All right. With my second pick, I will be picking Tyson Walker.
Are we sticking to Big Ten only? Is that it here?
No, just I'm good right now. I got Tyson Walker I got Tyson Walker at the 1. I got TSJ at the 2 or 3, depending.
I'm taking Tyler Kolek.
Surprised he wasn't your first pick.
I took the best player in the sport.
I'm just saying, in an all-white draft, not taking the kid from Rhode Island first.
Please continue.
Okay. Let's see here. We're sticking to college players. I don't want you getting Cooper Flag. Let's see.
No, I'm allowed to draft Cooper Flag.
No, you're not. We're college players only.
Do you make the rules in this?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
With my third pick, I'm gonna go Kevin McCullough.
Do you know who the best players in college basketball are? Like, what is this team? Like, yeah, Kevin McCullough's good, but like, you have 2 Big Ten guys in Kevin McCullough.
I mean, this team is gonna fit together. This team's gonna be great.
Okay, I'm taking your favorite player in the country, the best 4 in the country, according to you. I'm taking Alex Caravan.
Good pick. Good pick. All right. For my 5, let's see. You have a lot of options at the 5. I don't want big. Who am I? I'm missing. Actually, no. Let me stay strong here. Give me Oso. I got Oso at my 5.
Okay. I'll take Reed Shepard.
Okay, like your team. And then
Also,
at
like
my
Reed Shepard's mom belongs courtside for this game.
100%.
Huge boost to us.
And at my 4, I'm taking Kashad Johnson. And I love my team.
I'm really torn with what to do next.
What
I'm gonna.
position are you looking for?
I have 3 players considered, and I guess I have 2 spots because you're not going to let Edie suit up. So I'm gonna do the first move I think I have to do, which is like if we're actually doing a game of like all white players, that this player has to be on the team. Baylor Shireman.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Baylor Shireman is on the team.
So
Now
you're
that
telling me so
go ahead.
you're telling me Hunter's going undrafted?
So right now I have Tyler Kolek, Baylor Shireman, Alex Caravan, Reed Shepard. One would think I need a big man, but I can't pick a big man. I can't pick a big man here. I have to pick Braden Smith because he's Braden. Like the team can't end without a Braden on it. So I'm going small. We're going small. We're going Tyler Kolek, Braden Smith, Reed Shepard, Baylor Shireman, and Alex Caravan. We're just gonna space and shoot and play non-physical basketball. And it's gonna be absolutely lovely.
And we're also doing a coach. I'm taking Kelvin Sampson.
It's a good pick. You're gonna destroy us physically, but maybe we can outskill you.
But intangible.
I mean, am I trying to win the game?
Yeah,
Taking Greg McDermott.
that's insane. That
I didn't want to do this.
Greg.
I didn't want to do it.
That's wild.
I didn't want to do it.
That's wild. That's wild, but also I see why. I mean, definitely a little extra incentive on that one. I think the line on this game would be me -4.5.
What's your team again?
My team is Tyson Walker, Terrence Shannon Jr., Kevin McCullough, Keyshawn Johnson, and Oso Ighodaro.
Yeah, you're just gonna physically destroy me.
Yeah, we're gonna have you in hell.
Pace and space, though.
Also, Edie's not getting his waiver signed.
We're positive on that.
I'm
like,
positive.
I think I might be jumping on the money line value, hoping he gets the waiver.
I'm telling you right now, the way this organization operates, his waiver is going to get denied.
I think there's at least a chance. I need to let's do a little quick research on this.
You're getting a 23andMe done on Zach Edey.
Yeah, just a very quick one.
Okay, but when you're thinking about like you had the NBA discussion about like the greatest white players, and it's like greatest American white players. You don't put in Canadian players like Steve Nash doesn't get.
Carter,
What?
his father is a white man named Glenn.
Are you positive?
Yep. His father is a white man named Glenn. His mother is a Chinese woman named Julia.
So Edey qualifies? Is he getting his waiver?
It's up to a waiver. It's 50-50 at this
Okay.
point. But
all right, it's close. It's closer than I thought.
I think the Canadian resident might push it over the top. Like
it might. Well, I mean, like I said, it's out of my hands. We got to send it to the board.
All right. We'll revisit this in months then.
You're risky.
I can't believe you just made us do that. I have how am I supposed to thumbnail this? Truly.
I just want it's I started the episode saying I'm sick of pulling a rank, and then as the episode went on, I'm like, damn, I really want to pull a rank.
That was a really good twist ending. I'm not gonna lie, but God, man, you've just made a lot of work for me this afternoon trying to figure out how to do the mental gymnastics on this. Let's end the show with one big thing presented by Big B. I still can't believe we did that. What's your one big thing?
My one big thing for today is I discovered the greatest body wash of all time. Greg, are you a body wash guy? Or are you a bar soap guy?
I like both, to be honest. I kind of go back and forth, but I think on the go, give me body soap
Okay.
or body wash.
Are you a solo body wash guy? Are you a 2-in-1 gentleman? Like 3-in-1 gentleman? What's your
I would prefer solo. Yeah, I'd prefer
solo?
solo.
Okay. Well, I encourage you to go out and get this. Okay. It's called Method Body, and it is chamomile, starflower, blue lavender. If you're into like the body washes that are good for your skin, there's no like additives, it's plant-based, like it's all good stuff for you. And it is immaculate. I got it 2 days ago, and every shower that I take is just uh, an outer body experience with this body wash. So go out, get it at Target. That's where I got it. Method Body, chamomile, starflower, blue lavender. It's called Wind Down. It's in a light blue bottle. Try it out. Let me know if you like it. I promise you, you will. It is amazing.
Are we sponsored by them now? That felt like an
I Method Body, please. I love your all your products, but this is the one. Like y'all did it with this one. This is the one you need to hang your body wash top hat on. This is fire.
Okay. Uh, I'll try it out. I will try it out. I mean, that was an impassioned speech about it. What are we just sniffing it? We're huffing it now?
It's so good.
Okay. Yes, crazy.
I smell great.
You like know the person behind this or something? Like, why do
No,
I feel
I
like you
don't. I
is this
don't.
like Meg's side hustle?
No, I just know how great I smell.
Okay. Do you smell like 1 to 100? How do you smell right now?
Like probably 137.
So you couldn't possibly smell better than you do right now.
Me and this body wash together create the best smelling version of myself.
I feel like you're giving yourself a lot of credit for why you smell good right now.
What do you mean?
Like you said, me and this body wash combined are the reason that this smells good.
Well, because this smells good in general. Like when I just do like this.
Yeah. Are you saying that your natural scent elevates the smell of the body wash?
Yeah.
That's not how it works. It's the other way around. You don't just naturally smell good, my friend. I'm sorry, but come on.
I don't naturally smell bad either.
Ah, I feel
Oh,
like
here.
I feel like all humans naturally have a stench to them.
Not necessarily, because if you take enough showers, it's not like you're ever really dirty,
Yeah,
unless
but
you go
that's
days
just the
without
clean.
showering.
That's just the clean that smells good. Like a human naturally over time doesn't smell good.
You've never used the body wash that I just showed you, right?
No.
Okay, then this conversation's over. I can't expect you to understand.
All right. My one big thing presented by Big B is you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna respond directly to this role. So I'm gonna do it. It's incredibly dumb. It's incredibly stupid to hold a tweet or a take or a statement or a clip or an article or whatever you want over someone who does content for their job. It's incredibly stupid to hold a take that someone made in a particular set of time over their head as if they made it in a different particular set of time. I did not say that I would take Tum Tum Nairn over Tyson Walker when Tyson Walker became good at basketball. Okay? I said that in a particular set of time when Tyson Walker was a liability for Michigan State. And you are forgetting history if you're pretending that that didn't happen. This was a player at the time who could not beat out AJ Hoggard on a team that went 15-13. That's what they did. It was a bad basketball team. And also that wasn't the actual season. It was the next season. So sorry. It was they were 23-13. That's a little bit better, but still that team needed a lot of help at times. Tyson Walker did not give them a lot of it. And he started the season with 8 straight single-digit scoring games. He scored 0 points in 21 minutes against Northwestern. He scored 0 points in multiple games that season. 1 point against Wisconsin. He was bad. He was a bad basketball player that wouldn't shoot the basketball. And AJ Hoggard was winning the job against him. So it was not a crazy statement at the time to speculate, hey, would we take this guy who was an elite leader and an elite defender over what we were getting from Tyson Walker? Now, like I have given him credit for twice in the last 2 days, He has improved more than any Michigan State player I've ever seen. But it's incredibly stupid to try and dunk on the take when at the time he was so much worse than he is now. Okay? Like you're literally trying to get that back on people's feeds as if I said it today. And that's just horrible fanning. That's shitty to do. And it's garbage. It's garbage mentally. Like it speaks to a level of incompetence. Like I would never go circulate a take that like that take didn't say that Tyson Walker can't get better. It said Tyson's bad right now because he was bad at the time. Jesus Christ. My one big thing.
See you next time.